Hello, my name is Sharona Justman, and I'm here today with a very special guest, Lee Moser. I'm the co-founder of the Israel Conference, and the Israel Conference is focused on promoting business around the world with Israeli companies. We're a major conference. We have a magic circle set of connections. We are results and job oriented. We're very happy to be able to talk about Israel at this very critical time. As you know, since October 7th, Israel has been forced into a war, and many of Israel's citizens have been impacted in a terrible way. So today, I wanted to bring on someone who's making a huge difference in Israel, a huge difference both in business, in line with our normal time mission, as well as making a huge difference in helping citizens of Israel to cope with the horrors that are taking place. Lee Moser is the founder of And Ventures. And Ventures is a venture capital fund based out of Israel. She has a very impressive background. She's earned her stripes. She co-founded iAngels, and she's now a powerhouse VC in Israel with a fund over $70 million, a portfolio of 14 companies, and a studio building new companies. I'd like to introduce Lee to you now to tell us a little bit more about herself, her background, A&D Ventures, and then we're going to talk about what she's doing today with her time. But first, let's talk a little bit about business. Lee, tell me something about how you've created A&D Ventures, and thank you so much for joining today in this important discussion.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here, and it's good to reconnect. And it's good to talk about business a little bit because we've been discussing and talking about war for the past 3 weeks, and probably gonna do it for much longer. So I'm a founder of a venture capital called And Ventures. We're a $70 million fund investing in early stage Israeli startups with the idea of investing early, giving them all the support. We have 14 people in our team, 2 CTO, product, go-to-market, a CFO, and more that will help them grow and eventually move to the US and develop their business there with a headquarter both in Israel and the US. And this is what we've been doing for the past 3 years.
Impressive. Tell us a little bit about one or two of your portfolio companies and where their focus is.
So we have FinCom. It's a fintech company that focuses on AML processes in the banks. Just on a line, usually you have between 30 to 40% error rate when you screen names, and they bring it down to 3. So this is a crazy technology. This is one. Second one is OneBit, doing a retail optimization, real time for stores, retail, warehouses, have more than 250 clients and already in a growth stage.
Wow. And what do those companies need now during this wartime period? How are they interfacing with their customers outside of Israel? And how is their fundraising going?
So, for example, OneBit just closed their B round, and they're focusing on penetrating into the US. They're the biggest in Central America, South America, Israel, India, but now they want to go to the US, so they're looking for clients and maybe in the future strategic investors. And FinCom also are working mainly with US banks, looking for clients, and this is the real needs. But the entire portfolio needs both clients and funding, so investment into the company and also growing their income, their ARR, their MRR, to be able to reach to profitability.
So these companies, they're continuing operations with the backdrop of the war in Israel.
Yeah, they
And
probably have 30% less of workforce because we have hundreds of thousands of recruiters, also us in the fund, and but they keep on working and trying to maintain what's vital for the business, which is hard to.
ec- excellent. So if there is a professional or an investor who would like to get involved with And Ventures, The website is and-ventures.com. And you
And
can
you can
certainly
reach
get
my
involved.
LinkedIn as well. Just write, and I'll be responsive.
Beautiful, beautiful. So with all that activity, as a businesswoman, an entrepreneur yourself, a venture capitalist, what are you doing now in light of the war that's being waged against Israel?
So now I've been full time at this organization, which is Brothers and Sisters for Israel, it's the biggest civilian organization right now in Israel, with more than 50,000 volunteers and thousands of daily volunteers, south to north. And I took the responsibility of bringing the resources into the organization from the community of investors, community of philanthropists that we know. So manage a team of 35 volunteers from venture, philanthropy, banks that help fundraise for the organization, as we knew.
So Brothers and Sisters for Israel.org is the organization.
Yes.
How did it come to be? What's the background of this organization?
So actually my husband and a few of his friends from Sayeret Matkal, which is kind of an elite unit in Israel, started this organization almost a year ago as an organization that opposing the judiciary reform. As you know, Israel were in a different state of mind 3 weeks ago. And when the war basically began, we quickly understood that the magnitude is different. We never saw pictures like that, and we never faced with brutality like that. And Israel is small, and there are more than 1,500 people that were slaughtered. So immediately we turned the organization into a civil aid organization, that organization that has so many volunteers on ground that we understood the power of the people, so we can be everywhere and very, very quickly. So we were the first responders from many of the activities that were in Israel, and it's arose from the needs in the field. For example, we evacuated about 12,000 people from under fire from Sderot and other places. People came with their personal jeeps and just drove night and day to evacuate people that they don't know into a safety. Then what is a safety? You need a system that will connect families and families, right? Before the government had any kind of a plan. So we built a system that connected more than 10,000 families. And then you start having refugees. They need clothes, they need baby food, they need psychologists, they need education, they need computer. And it's grow and grow and grow. And today we have 3 warehouses. We get donation, but also we now buy stuff for the needs of the soldiers and the needs of the civilians. And we have headquarters in the south and in the north taking care of civilians. We have almost everything that you can think of that people are in need and needed. So for that,
You
we
mentioned
also have resources.
you mentioned that you have 50,000 people in Israel who have volunteered to take on tasks at the direction of the management of Brothers and Sisters for Israel. Do you need more volunteers? Should people come from outside of Israel to join the ranks?
So first of all, it's very dangerous. It's a war zone. So don't come now. Support us.
What
Where
can
are you
people
at?
do then who
So I
want?
think a few things. First of all, we want you to learn about our organization and be ambassador for what we do with your friends, with your family, with your community. And we're happy to come and speak in any Zoom or any activity that you'll have. And that will enable us to keep on doing what we're doing. 2, as I said, we're a very young organization. You know, we might be the biggest, and we learn from others and work with others as well. It's very important to say there are organizations in Israel that are great and supporting the activity that we do, but we do need resource. So if you have the ability to, donate to us, I would love to speak to you guys, or just like you can do it through the website. And then the third thing, it's a general request. Israel always have limited time that it could act. As I said, we've been slaughtered our families, our babies, our friends, our soldiers. And we've been threatened from various of areas, from the Hezbollah in the north to Hamas in the south, and who know else in the international arena. We need people like you to tell the story of what's going on in Israel. Okay? So you need to learn what's going on. You need to gather the facts. And we're launching tomorrow an initiative. I'll tell you what its name. It's a new thing. We gather testimonials from people and pictures and history and anything you need to one can share. It's called Israel's True Story, and is also a part of the civic headquarters of Brothers and Sisters for Israel, founded by the tech people. By the way, the combination of our organization is the people that are veterans in the army in different units and the tech people in Israel. We join together and we build a unicorn. And hopefully we will keep on providing the needs. And as I said, it's going to be it's going to be very long. So you need to be patient with us, and just like keep on following and keep on supporting and keep on asking the question of what we need.
You bring up an extremely important point. The world is filled right now with inaccurate information, biased information, and a narrative that is contrary to the best interests, frankly, of the world. It's great that you're going to be launching a new initiative to get information that's straightforward out by credible stories so that we can go to your site and get relevant, critical information. We'll look to Brothers and Sisters for Israel.org as a guidepost. And I thank you so much for spending time. I want to mention to our viewers that Lee is wearing a t-shirt for Brothers and Sisters for Israel with an insignia on it. And I'm sure it's something that for a donation on the website, you can have one as well.
Oh, definitely. We'll ship them.
One of the things at the Israel Conference website, we have a tab called Israel. We also are listing some brief facts. So, Lee, your suggestion is very timely. Perfect. Get the facts, tell the stories, stand up loudly and proudly to support Israel. Thank you, Lee. We'll come back to you for an update, and we are hoping that all the things that you're doing for Israel on our behalf will bring forth soundness of mind, solidity of state, and a calmness to resume the day-to-day of the beautiful gem that Israel is.
Amen.
Thank you.
תודה רבה.
Bye.
שלום, ביי ביי.